Welcome back to After the Bell. We are your hosts with the most. I am Flipsyde.
And I'm Tim, the man of a million minds.
There it is. Okay, straight back to business. Extreme Rules continuation on the JTG match. He actually won. That's why we call it the JTG match. He did one of the old school tactics in a strap match where you go behind your opponent as he's controlling the match and he's tapping every single one. You're going right behind each turnbuckle and tapping it as well.
You know, I think they changed the rules a little bit. Like we talked about in the old school strap match, if something happened and you touched the ropes and then you went and fought, you had to retouch the ropes. Right. So, you know, they changed the rules a little bit.
I think they probably had to rush it to end the match, really.
Yeah, they did because
kind of bored with it. You know, that's probably what happened. You know.
And for our next match was Randy Orton versus Jack Swagger, an Extreme Rules match for the heavyweight title. You know, like we talked about when we watched it Sunday night, we didn't see much Extreme until kind of, you know, the end. You know, you've seen a little bit, but I actually thought this was a pretty good match. But what I don't understand was leading up to this, Swagger looked like a damn jobber.
Bingo. And we talked about that actually last week where we talked about how is your champion losing all these matches.
And then going to beat Randy Orton at a pay-per-view.
Pretty much cleanly, too.
Randy Orton is not a jobber. You cannot have a guy that's losing all the time beat a guy like Randy Orton at a pay-per-view. But do you notice all these big new guys like Sheamus, Jack Swagger, they're beating top guys, but in extreme matches. You know, like when you talked about last week, when you had somebody like Swagger or Sheamus beating Cena for the title in a tables match. You know, so
that's the type of stuff that they're going to. They're not going to let the guys. They're not going to let their money makers lose cleanly. So so therefore they have to put them in like an extreme type of match where they can actually have them lose and not look bad losing. I guess that's how it goes because like we said last week, Undertaker beat him with a tombstone, and then John Morrison beat him with his finisher. And then he happens to fight him again this week, which we'll get more into in the Raw segment, where he lost. Where John Morrison lost, he couldn't beat him twice in a row. Yeah. But anyway, Jack Swagger beat Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. He hit him with the gut wrench powerbomb for the win. Then we go to, just like what we talked about earlier, Triple H is not going to fight at the top of a card. So, of course, his match comes up, and he's all in the back. You know, He's so hurt that they don't even know he's even going to come out or not. Then, of course, he busts out the door like Superman and comes to the ring with the towel on.
But he did not come to the ring with the sledgehammer.
No sledgehammer action at all.
The first time ever that Triple H has been in a street fight, been able to use the jackhammer, doesn't come. Oh, so sorry.
If he was a jackhammer, he would. Jack Swagger would be at the Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, not Jack Swagger. I'm sure Sheamus.
Sheamus, yeah. But I mean, he didn't even bring nothing, and so I knew for a fact that this is going to be a different type of match that Triple H is going to allow his friend named Sheamus win this match.
Right. Yeah. So he pretty much made Triple H look like a jobber, pretty much, and I guess that's Triple H's way of finally putting somebody over.
I guess since Triple H doesn't have Shawn Michaels no more as his friend, confidant, workout buddy, he has Sheamus.
And like you said, Sheamus hit him with the pipe, in the beginning. Then he used the pipe again in the end, and actually beat him with four of those little kicks that he does to the head. Triple H ate the first three, was still standing. Yeah. The fourth one just, I guess, knocked him unconscious. I mean, so he got put over in a big way. Sheamus did, and he won the match. And then we go to the next match, which was
the Extreme Makeover match for the WWE Women's Title. Michelle McCool versus Beth Phoenix.
Right.
Like I said before, I think Beth Phoenix is actually a great wrestler, probably one of the best wrestlers that they have. But at the same fact, I didn't think Michelle McCool was going to, beat Beth Phoenix at all.
But I mean, she's getting put over big time too, and we know why she's getting put over, aka Miss Undertaker. So she's been getting put over for the longest, and it's about time that they finally go ahead and let her lose. Because I'm really tired of seeing her.
Yeah, I am too.
But we're not bashing. We're just tired of seeing her.
So we're going to go ahead and go to our next match, which is a steel cage match between Jericho and Edge.
You know what? Favorite top guys.
For a while now, I've never really been a Edge fan. I've always been kind of, away from him. I'm starting to really like Edge.
Oh, yeah, especially after Raw, which we'll get more into. Yeah. But, it was a great actually a great match with Edge and
There's
Chris
one
Jericho.
part I got to say though. There's one part I
knew
did
you were
not
gonna
like.
touch on it. I knew you were gonna say it.
I don't like the fact that Jericho was outside the ring on the steps, teasing the fact he's gonna get off and they go back in. I really did not like that. If you're gonna beat the guy, beat the guy.
But that's a typical Chris Jericho move to play with the mind of the fans as well as his opponents. So he made it look like, yeah, I could beat him right now, but I want to do more damage to him. So I'm gonna go in, and then of course that's when he suffered the leg injury.
Right.
And it ends up. And you know what? You can almost see him losing the match when he stepped down the stairs and walked back in there. You know in your head, okay, he's gonna lose.
You looked on his face, and if you can tell on his face, he looked with disappointment like...
When he stepped back in the ring, he knew he was going to lose. He's like, okay, this is probably why I'm going to lose.
I should have done this.
Yeah.
I should have stepped off. Forget WWE. Yeah. I'm stepping off, but, you know.
He jumped back in the ring, Edge hit him with the spear.
And I kind of hope this is the end of Edge-Jericho feud, because I want to see Edge go to great things, and I want to see Jericho go to great things.
You definitely can see that it is the end of the feud once you tune into the next night.
Right,
You know it's the end of the feud. The feud is over. Edge won the feud at the end. He just couldn't win the belt from him.
Right.
Okay.
Last man standing for the WWE title, Batista versus John Cena. And supposedly the internet rumors going psycho.
Right.
Batista's last week is possibly this week. Well, is it going to happen or not? We don't know. We'll just wait and see. But let's go ahead and get to the match.
Yeah, because I definitely have something to say about that, because I actually think that he's going to extend at least until the pay-per-view.
Right.
I believe that. But this is, some people say it's a fiasco about what happened, about how bad that made Batista look. That, you're in there benching 500, 600 pounds in the gym.
And you can't stretch duct tape.
Yeah, you can't reach your arm, even though you're fully awake. You cannot reach your arms back there and unwrap some duct tape because,
But let's get to something before that. Let's get to something when Batista was outside the ring. I did not hear it, and during the pay-per-view when we watched it, he brought it up, but we didn't hear it. So today we rewatched the pay-per-view and go ahead and tell them what you've heard. Before you get to it, we got to take a small break, and when we get back, we're gonna find out what's going on.
Bingo. So if you actually go back and watch it, you can tell, you can hear him saying.
I got something better for that. I'm going to give you that footage.
You're gonna give us something.
We're going to give you that footage. I'm going to enhance the audio so they can hear the footage live for yourself.